Burger King. Sinatra had my way, Burger King had your way. Both were very much alive in the 1950s. But right now, zooming out, trying to address the question I doubt many people are asking, is Burger King any good? For people tend to agree on more things than disagree, a function of societal cohesion, an aversion to conflict. Body language often used to diffuse, mask, and insinuate. From a point of observation, it appears divided. Like two parallel universes, you'd be led to believe that Burger King is great. Service with a smile, or terrible and avoidable, hard to know what is true or if someone is telling a whopper. Burger King has pretty much been a burger-selling corporate entity for most of the company's existence, a tale of two founding stories colliding in the 1950s. It was a piece of cooking equipment called an Instabroiler that was licensed by Keith Kramer and Matthew Burns, then initiated the Burger King empire. The pair used Instabroiler to open a series of franchise restaurants around the state of Florida with the name Insta Burger King. Not the most catchy of names, but if you pay to license a machine, you want your money's worth. Early franchisees James McLemore and David Edgerton opened their first restaurant in 1954. This is considered the start of Burger King, but rather it was the start for McLemore and Edgerton. It was them that introduced the gas flame grill that is still used today, and importantly, it was them that were all too familiar with the McDonald's brothers and their hamburger stand working out of San Bernardino, California. Burger King, or Insta Burger King, wasn't shy in taking what the McDonald's brothers had shown to work and essentially copying it. Like a greasy card game, Burger King saw a McDonald's hamburger and raised it a flame-grilled hamburger, and that's pretty much the story ever since. But if 1954 is the start of Burger King, because that is when the franchisees McLemore and Edgerton opened their first franchise before going on to take control of the company, then Ray Kroc opened his first franchise in 1955 before later taking full control and changing the name from McDonald's Brothers to McDonald's. Ergo, Burger King was kind of before McDonald's, by a year, give or take, if the calculations are correct, and was already emulating the McDonald's Brothers before Ray Kroc. Them the rules, Ray, them the rules. The one difference was McLemore and Edgerton bailed relatively early. After expanding the chain to 250 stores, they sold the company to the Pillsbury Company in 1967, now under full corporate control. The days of franchisee freedom was over. Previously, franchisees had been given the freedom to make changes, like creating a mascot and changing menu items, which is how you get the Whopper and the Flame Broiler in 1957 thanks to McLemore and Edgerton. Pillsbury wasn't a startup environment, and consistency is key, which is arguably what Burger King suffers from today. Teams of corporate investors would move Burger King around in the following decades. Currently, Burger King is operated by Restaurant Brands International, with stablemates including Tim Hortons, Popeyes, and more recently Firehouse Subs, all of which have proven to be popular brands in recent years, especially with more growth. So Burger King appears in good hands for now. Despite all the moving from one corporate overlord to another, Burger King has still remained a powerhouse. Even though Burger King always seems to be going through a dip in sales, must be my perception, Burger King is still obviously in the game, in the top 10 for US sales going by 2020 numbers, although year-on-year unit sales are down by 3.6%. Importantly, Wendy's is now larger by sales than Burger King and is showing growth at the same time that Burger King is losing sales. Where Burger King is still strong appears to be in the speed of the drive-thru, regularly performing well when compared to other chains, especially compared to McDonald's, although results again for 2020 have Burger King at number 5, but behind Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, but still pretty consistent at getting that food out the side of the building. However, this is only half the battle. Speed is good. It adds to the overall value by offering convenience, but the product quality still needs to be there. Otherwise, people are driving around the building and coming back to complain. Infinite loops jam up the system. Burger King has not been afraid of walking head-on into the plant-based product lineup, which is interesting. Plant-based substitutes don't quite fit in with the branding, but perhaps that's the point. The Impossible Whopper was introduced in 2019 as a mainstream product. Whether you're a fan or not, this is likely the future. The first iterations need some work, but in time it will be better and cost less to produce than growing a cow, especially if the cow is already being fed soy, which is used to make the Impossible Burger, according to Impossible Foods. You might as well cut out the middleman, or middle cow in this case, and go straight to the source. That's business 101. If an original Whopper is priced at twice the price of an Impossible Whopper in the future, let's say hypothetically due to some kind of tax, which one are you choosing? So where does Burger King fit in? The early days were kind of simple. What's McDonald's up to? It's probably how every board meeting started. While McDonald's is still the number one in town, Burger King has more competition, recently overtaken by Wendy's in sales, facing an increasing threat from franchise brands perceived as more premium, like Culver's, Whataburger, Five Guys and Shake Shack, etc. Being flame grilled used to be enough to differentiate, and Burger King could get away with a more premium price point. That's not really the case now. McDonald's is kind of in a league of its own. If you look at global reach and sales, Burger King, I would say, fits alongside Wendy's, Carl's Jr., Jack in the Box, etc. Of course, there is more, and not just purveyors of burgers. Burger King needs to be seen to be offering the same level of value. Matching the aforementioned premium brands would likely need a total overhaul, which would be expensive and take a long time. When looking at Burger King, there seems to be an emphasis on value. Online ordering and app-based offers are advertised around value rather than, say, reward. Sales were on the decline for many years, but did show recovery in recent years. As alluded to at the beginning, it seems that depending on where you are, state to state, country to country, is whether Burger King is good or not. The fundamentals are sound, but perhaps franchise systems are still a work in progress the Restaurant Brands International is working on. That's the optimistic view anyway, though the employees might not be as patient. A sign declaring "We all quit. Sorry for the inconvenience" was displayed outside a Lincoln, Nebraska Burger King in 2021 after staff felt disgruntled over working conditions and long hours. Putting all that on a sign was a risky thing to do. It would be easy to misspell inconvenience. All things Burger King. Let me know. Thanks for watching.